Hey folks, welcome back to the show. Our next guest is Clyde Hughes, principal for ACJosepH Media and Editor for FrontrunnerNewJersey.com. Clyde, welcome to the show.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Listen, it's a pleasure. Before we go anywhere, we want to know what the AC stands for. No.
Well, the AC doesn't stand for Atlantic City, believe it or not. I had the company ACJosepH Media since I was in Indiana. I lived in Indiana before I moved here to New Jersey. The AC in Joseph in the H is capitalized at the end, and it represents the first letters of my father and his three brothers in a way to honor them for creating the company, since they were such a big influence in my life. The A is for Alex, the C is for Clinton, the J is for my father, I'm a junior, Joseph Clyde, and the capital H at the end is for Hurley. So it's a personal thing that helps me remember them and how much they were influential in my life. But of course, I moved here and everyone thinks it means Atlantic City, so I let them believe it.
Listen, it's a win-win. It's family and it's AC, so
yes.
you can't lose there. It's a great name, and I love it. So listen, Clyde, got to meet you. One of our dear friends we were speaking about before the interview, Earl Harvey. Yes, AC Times editor and owner. Passed. We were at a memorial for him at Beret AC in Atlantic City on New York Avenue, but we got to talk briefly, and what you do, I'm going to tell the folks right now, and then you're going to take over from there. FrontRunnerNJ.com, purpose, your mission, highlighting the people, events, and causes of South Jersey. You do it in a special way. You do it online, of course, but also one of the things I like, it's like a kind of restorative narrative. You hit the Hispanic and the African American, and the culture, and in Atlantic City, no other place like it. Tell us a little bit more about the media group that you have, please, and your mission.
Yes, I created FrontRunnerNewJersey.com. I am an old-time newspaper reporter.
Yep.
Matter of fact, so old-time, I'm afraid to even say how long I've been in the media. But it was something I was doing already as a newspaper reporter back in Texas, back in Ohio, and back in Indiana, where I would cover the African American and Latino communities. In Hispanic Heritage Month would come along, and I would do all these stories about Hispanic Heritage Month. And then, Black History Month would come, and I would do all these stories on Black history. And once those months were gone, we did fewer and fewer stories. And I said, now wait a minute. If these stories are newsworthy during Hispanic Heritage Month and Black History Month, then certainly they are newsworthy the other 10 months of the year.
Amen.
So I knew there was a market there, and I knew there was an interest there for these stories. And I came here and I saw an opportunity where I could just use the experience that I've had to highlight these communities and talk about the positive news and talk about frankly, the great people who make up these communities in a way that's not being covered in the mainstream media. And that's how I came up with FrontRunnerNewJersey.com.
I love it, and when you were explaining it to me there, Morgan Freeman came up in my mind real quick. I remember watching an interview with Morgan Freeman. I forget who was conducting the interview, but they were talking about Black History Month and Hispanic, and he's like, forget the month. It's year-round. So, and I love that you've taken that concept, and it really is. And with media being what it is now, so mainstream on social media or on the internet with the .com, I believe that that's the way to go. Listen, I'm old school, as you said. I love a paper in my hand. I was 8, 9 years old. I was asking my father to bring me newspapers back in the day, the Philadelphia Bulletin, the Daily News, and on and on. But again, it's an interesting way of you doing it. And as you well know, we're here in the Arts and Humanities building in Stockton University. So the students, they want to get a feel for that and where to get their passion and continue. Obviously, they have the passion, and I like to talk to them as far as being on our set, but also viewers here. Talk about a little bit of that where you see the youth. in media?
We live in a news desert. Now, in terms of the industry, a news desert is where you don't have a daily newspaper or a TV station that covers an area like South Jersey. I'm stunned that there isn't a mainstream TV station that covers South Jersey. You have to get it from Philadelphia. That's just amazing to me, which means you have to have a politician kill themselves or arrested on fraud or some kind of triple homicide to get TV stations from Philadelphia out here to cover South Jersey.
Or something like that.
And as you and I know, there's a lot more going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot more positive that's going on. So we shouldn't have to wait for something dramatic to happen to have the news come here. Now, the great thing about it is that we're living in this unique age of technology that allows us to get into, I'm never going to have enough money to build a printing press.
Right.
But to be able to go on WordPress and start a blog, which is where Front Runner New Jersey started, and now we have an email list approaching 4,000, where we started 3 years ago. I would have never have imagined that would have happened so soon, and we continue to grow. We started our newsletter because Facebook took an interest in us, and we joined their bulletin.com newsletter on the ground floor, and we're really proud of that. Really proud of the stories that we're doing from that. Your story appeared on the newsletter, and we are doing amazing things right now, and I am so happy for that. So happy for the medium, but for the young people. There's people say, well, the newspapers are shrinking, the TV stations, they aren't hiring as much. I disagree. There isn't a better time to get into the media if you're a young person than right now, because of the technology has made it available. The platforms have made it available for you to get in and show your talent and show your worth. I wish I had half the things that of what's going on right now.
No, you're exactly right, and I'm living proof of it. Had no media background and whatnot, just with social media and the .coms and whatnot, just being able to share it, folks created that. So listen, we don't have a lot of time here. You have a fundraiser. By the time this airs, you would have a nice big fundraiser, Clyde. We're going to put your graphics up, but let folks know again, where to find you, how to find you, and whatnot.
Yes, online. FrontRunnerNewJersey.com, all together, spelled out, FrontRunnerNewJersey.com, and you can find our regular website there. Our Facebook newsletter is FRNJ Extra, and that will have exclusive interviews, stories, and columns, and you can find that at frnjextra.bulletin.com. So those are the best ways that you can find us. We're doing a lot of exciting things. The NAACP National Convention is coming here in July. We are going to be covering that on a daily basis. We're going to be looking, hopefully, for young people who can help us cover that. So hopefully those are some opportunities that we can provide for young people. And again, showing the positive, showing the things that you won't normally see in the mainstream media. Right. That's why we're alive. That's our bread and butter, trying to shine not such a different spotlight, but a new spotlight on what's going on in the community.
Well, folks, listen, make sure you look for Front Runner New Jersey. Thanks again, Clyde. We appreciate you. Hey, listen, you're welcome back anytime. We're going to have Kaleem Shabazz and a bunch of others with the National Convention coming to town. Folks, stay right where you're at. We'll be right back.